Finding our music. Shuffle. So lower back and all right, we're going to start standing up. We're going to open up our chest and arms. Look a little bit to our lower back. Straighten out your view. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to tap it out with my feet. I'm just trying to wake up my body. If you got your trackers, go ahead. If you're using an Apple, I noticed some of you guys were wondering which workout tracker I usually do. And I usually either do core training or functional strength training for this class. Those are the two that I use. Let's lift those knees up a little bit. Bring it up. Wipe it down. Up in the front. Wipe it out. Step it wide. Just a gentle arm swing. So I'm not even twisting my chest just yet. Stand right in the middle. I'm going to line up my knees and toes straight to the front here. And then I'm going to turn my head to warm my neck. We're going. Stay still and shoulders. Roll them back. Too high with my back. Up, center, down. Let yourself breathe more. Step. Let's lift our arms up a little bit. Open those elbows back. Push your chest. Lift a knee up. Let's twist. Easy, gentle. Easy, gentle. All right, wide hip center. Nice wide legs. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing in the middle. I'm going to let my abs out. I'm going to go. I'm going to lift them in. I'm going to land out. And pull them in. We call it Pilates scoop in Pilates. We call it Uddiyana Bandha in yoga. We call it transversus abdominis contraction. Coming in and out. And notice I'm not moving my lower back or my chest at all. I'm trying to just isolate that. And then let's take a moment here, a little squat, and see if you can even, you guys, it's the rule. Now we have to do the spontaneous abs. Let's come on down. They're in 8s. This is my random song comes on. You have to do this ab workout rule. Here we go for craziness. We're going up. 2, 3. It's cracking. 5, 6, 7, 8. Just curls. Right leg up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch your legs. Switch your legs. Try and externally rotate that leg and point the foot this time. 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch legs. Both feet up, turned out, flex. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. 6, 7, 8. Now point. 1, 2, 7, 8. Roll onto your right side or left side. Straight to the side, armpit to hip, leg in the air. Keep pulling that Pilates scoop in. 6, 7, 8. Now twist your heart to your hip. 3, 4. We're almost done with the curl section. 7. We're going to switch sides, other side. Straight to the side, armpit, hip. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Twists. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good job. Coming up onto your hips. Lift it in the back. Hips go down and down and down and up. Roll downs, pulling your transversus abdominis in, lifting up in your pelvic floor. And 3, 2, 1. And 3, 2, 1. And 3, 2, 1. Take the extra effort to keep your pelvic floor lifted up and your belly pulled in. So don't let it pooch out when you come up, yeah? Don't let it do it. That extra little quarter inch of effort is really valuable. Stay right there. Hollow it out, and lift. Lift. Relax your shoulders or pull them back away from your ears. Now let's twist. 2, 3. Stomachs in. 5. Knees close together. Good, good. Come up. Take it down. Tiny walks. Keep following it in and up. And come on up. And come on down. And tip to the side. Get all the way onto your side. Roll all the way through. Elbows back. Knees on the floor. Tiny half push-ups, but keep your elbows into your side. Do not cheat your elbows out to the side. Switch. Elbows back. Push your hips up. Push your hips up. Fingers forward is more comfortable for your wrists. Push. Big push. Big push. Stay up. Bend your elbows. Bend. 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 Shoulders back. Bounce. And push it up. Good job, everybody. You made it through the 4-minute abs. Let's walk those hands back a little more. Remember, my fingers are pointing forward here. And I'm going to relax. Just drop your whole chest like a hammock and feel that big stretch in the front of your shoulders. Big stretch. Good job, guys. All right, roll on up. Send your leg out and in. Send your leg out and in. Send your leg out and in. Send your leg out. And now let's check on the back. So my back right now is a little angled. Yeah? And I want you to be all the way upright. Let me check this out. Sorry, this should help you hear the music better. So here we are. It's okay if you're holding yourself up with those hands, but let's check our back. Are we curved, upright, or forward? Soften those legs. Let's curve, upright, and forward, straight, and curve. Feel your back, upright, and forward. We're gonna stay nice and straight. It's okay if your legs don't get all the way straight, yeah? But your back, I want that all the way straight. Lifting up and in. Pull those shoulders down and back. Leg lifts, straight leg up. I'm going to turn diagonal. I think that's the best compromise, diagonal. 2, 3, 4. Switch legs. 2, 3. Feel like you're squishing your body up like a tube of toothpaste here. 7, 8. Switch sides. We go 8, 7, 6. Keep your knees and toes straight up. You want to feel this on the inside of your thigh. 7, 8. Switch sides. We go 8, 7, 6, shoulders back, abs, and 8, 2, 3, 4, switch it again, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 more to even it out, 3, 2, 1, roll it all the way down, real slow, pull in, good, let your arms come down by your sides, drop your shoulders open. We're gonna articulate just the head, neck, and shoulders up. Here we go, we'll go head, neck, shoulders, stay right here. Let your hands rest down. Press through your heels and see if you can take a little more in and down feeling with your abdominal wall. Shoulders back, roll it down. Here we go, and head, neck, shoulders off the floor, that's it, and down. 2, 3, articulate the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time, comes up, and 1 vertebrae at a time, goes down, little higher and up. 2, 3, 4, stay there, walk your legs. Look at that belly button, can you really keep it down? Don't let it bounce, really down. Shoulders down, compressing in, good, down, 2, 3, 4, relax your neck, knees up, give them a hug, a tight hug, press it into your chest, let your booty curl up a little bit, feel that 12 o'clock pelvis. And float the legs up, head, neck, shoulders up, big breath in, hollow out that core, we're gonna reach, and legs, stay still, arms bouncing, chin tucked in, shoulders up, check your scoop. Make sure you're not scooping and pressing down, you want to scoop and press up into your rib cage. If you're losing your Pilates scoop, it happens to all of us, bring those knees in closer, reset it. Bring it in. Take those knees over to your right side. Twist the back. Enjoy. Big deep breath. Switch sides. Come on, center. Roll it up. Onto your bellies. Shoulders back. Lift up your core, but leave your thighs completely on the ground. So we don't want to have this deep arch in the back here. I'm trying to flatten it out as much as I can by lifting my belly and pulling my shoulders back. In fact, all I want you to do next is hold that lifted belly, squeeze your legs together. Looks like you're just lying here, sure doesn't feel like it. Squeeze those legs actually together, don't drop a penny. Let a penny be between your toes and knees. Lift your abs up off the floor, push your chest up, then balance your belly back up into your core. Press your chest forward, then pull your shoulders in. Good, stay there. Right leg bends, squeeze and down. And left and squeeze and down. This is a hamstring exercise, so the back of your thighs. It can be a little bit challenging if you have sensitive knees, so just don't bend your knee as far. If you start to feel your knee, just take it where it goes. Now we're still pressing our chest forward, which means you're squeezing your shoulder blades back, pulling your abs back in. I see a lot of arch in my back today because my psoas are really tight. Maybe yours are too. So I'm fighting hard for that. All right. Low down, abs in, press up, take it back. 2 breaths. Press your butt down to your heels and really open up that lower back. Roll it up. Take take just a moment to open those thighs, yeah? Gently. You're not like coated in sweat just yet, so I don't expect a deep stretch. Neither should you. Okay, here's one of my favorites. We're gonna just relax for a second. Sit on those feet. Not everybody's feet really like this position, so it's okay to tuck your toes instead if that's more comfortable, or to lift up a little bit for the whole thing if that's what works best for you. But do notice when you sit down, a lot of us have a habit of crossing our feet. I'd like you to break that habit. Reach your big toes long so your ankles are practicing a healthy alignment. All right, that said, let's start with our pelvic floor up, scoop, add that curve. Now when I curve, I can feel that my thigh's tight today. I feel it in my knee and lower quad all the way. Squeeze your thighs towards each other the whole time for strength, keeping your pelvis back in 12. I'm gonna try and lift up by pushing my shins into the floor. Good, deepen. 2, 3, 4. Press up. Dive your chest out to a flat back, holding onto that Pilates scoop. Squeeze your thighs towards each other for support. Shoulders back, then hands touch. I'm gonna dive my nose, chin, chest through next to my hands. Notice my elbows are staying back alongside my body. I'm not going out to the side. Yeah, I want you to squeeze them back. Now I'm gonna push this way. Push, 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 push. Here we go, push the floor. Stay as low as you can, elbows in. It's slow and specific and curve. 2, 3, 4, rising up. Tuck your tailbone underneath. And 2, 3, 4, dive through. 2, squeeze your thighs towards each other. Nose, chin, chest. Press up. Lower down, back to starting position right away. We go back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last one. Now I'm going to do it incorrectly once. There's my tipped back pelvis, yes? Most of us, when we learn this one, flip the pelvis to come up. Yeah? Now that looks great in a jazz dance class. Yes? But it's not this exercise. I want you to really, really fight to keep your scoop and your pelvis angled back as you rise. 3, 4, there, and curve. 2, 3, 4. Drive through. 2, 3, 4. Then you fall through. Up and lower down. And push back home. Tuck your toes, everybody. Let's come into a downward dog. Just enjoy it as a stretch. Maybe one leg at a time. Let your hips tilt. Tilt those hips. Switch sides. Good. Walk it and walk it. Notice I just changed my elbows to come to the back of the room again. Walk it together. And come to the front. Bend those knees. Double check that your toes are straight forward, your knees are straight forward. Keep them nice and close. And we're going to reach out. Notice, has this happened? Or this? Or this? Ooh. Be particular. It's the health of your knees long term you're practicing here. Particular. How's your scoop? Whoosh. Micro bounces. Keep it out of your knees. If your knees are passing your toes, you're going to feel this really in your knee joints. Want your booty to go way back. Way back, booty, way back. And now under. 2, 3, 4, up, 6. Press down the universe. Pull your shoulders back. Up, down, forward, forward, up and back, down and back, forward, forward, up and back, down and back. Little boxes of your shoulders. That's what I'm calling this exercise. Now while you're doing this, I'm going to bend forward so you can see me. I want you to look at your arms. Forward, up and forward, up and back, down and back. I would like your arms to remain as parallel lines the whole time you're doing this exercise, so you're not accidentally crossing them or wobbling them. Keep holding down and back. Good, good. We're going to step a little wide. Let your hips roll out for a moment. Okay. Hands on your hip bones. Tuck it underneath. Neutral. And back. And I am letting my knees be soft here so that I can really feel my pelvis move freely. If your legs are really straight, you get less mobility in this action. Neutral. Squeeze it forward. Try to have a soft behind here and use your abs like you're doing a curl to pull it forward. Forward. So you're curling your back just by using your abs. Okay, let's pause. Release. Lift up like someone's pulling a little string from the base of your crotch all the way up in space. And then abs come in. So pelvic floor first, abs, then curl. Flat, release your abs, release your pelvic floor. Pelvic floor, abs, tuck, neutral, transversus abdominis relaxes, and floor relaxes. Lift up that pelvic floor, then your transversus abdominis, then we're gonna curl, release, and relax. Yes? Okay, let's take an arm up. I'm gonna swing that arm behind my head and then press back here, stretching the back of the arm and maybe even into your armpit if you lean it out. Now my chin might get smushed very far forward, so as I'm getting into the stretch, I'm gonna lengthen that neck. Good, switch sides. Shoulders down as much as you can, then add the side lean. All right. Take those hands behind you. Hold on tight. If they're sweaty, dry the sweat off. Straighten those arms back and push your chest forward. Good. Tip it forward, lift your hands up. Hold on to your hands, don't give up, don't give up. Hold on to your hands. If you can't get those hands at all, grab something like a sweater or a belt, and you can hold that rope behind you to get that stretch. Both work fine. Drop it down. Okay, so I have wide stance. I'm holding on tight to those hands. If you can put your palms together, all the better. I'm gonna bend and straighten. Soft squats. Drop your head, hands over your head, and slow squats. Okay, middle with the knees, and then twist over to one side. Let your hands and chest fall to one side. 2 breaths. Switch sides. Come center, hands to your hips and release them. Rising up. Here we go. We're going to go 12, neutral, 6, neutral, 12, neutral, 6, neutral, holding 12. Arms come up, straight lines. Add it all together. Hips right, chest left. 3, 4. Come up. 2, 3, 4. Switch hips over. Check that your abs are still in. If anything, lean your heart a little bit forward. Up. 6, 7, 8. Switch out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now come on up. Did you feel that here in your quadratus lumborum or here in your obliques? obliques, side of your body, or more on the back, the side of your back. We'd like to get this into the side of your body and even side front so you can get those Adonis muscles. Yeah? So if you're feeling it really in your back, that means this is happening. Hips going out and you're leaning really far forward and then you're squeezing up here. So to get the side, we're going to send those hips out and go less forward, and we do that by tucking under in the pelvis so that we can go further to the side, yeah? And then you'll start to feel it here and down here. 6, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3. Stay there, hands to your shoulders. Rotate from the center of your body. We go twist. 2. This should definitely be getting those obliques, so if you weren't sure where they were, you want to feel them right now. Come up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. 4, 3, 2, 1. Twist. 4, 8 count. Keep compressing in and up. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Hips. 4, 3, 2, 1. Twist. 7, 5. And up. Last set. Good, come on up. Let's take our backs forward. Lifting in and up, in and up, in and up, in and up. Drop those shoulders. We're going to do shoulder blade squeezes. We just pull our shoulder blades together. It's like you're trying to touch your shoulder blades to your spine. Add a squat. Squeeze those inner thighs together a little bit. Walk it out. Can you find a plank? Can you find a modified plank? Now we're nice and wide. Just let that happen. Let your hips drop. Keep lifting up in your core because it's really easy to do this. Back arching, dumping the pelvis, yeah? I want you to open up the hip sockets. Here we go, one hand up and back at a time. Up and back. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. Good, strong core. Lift it up and in. Pelvic floor is up. Shoulders are down and back like we practiced with the squares. Good. Bring those hands and knees underneath. Your knees should be directly underneath your hip socket on both sides, and your hands should be underneath your shoulders. Now look at this right here. This is a hyperextended elbow. Ow. Right now? No, I don't feel it at all right now. But over time, racing through hyperextension will start to weaken those joints and cause pain in those joints. So we want to build strength so we don't have to hyperextend. Fingers forward. Bend your elbows to the back. Straighten them until they're almost straight, and you don't feel like you're putting your weight into your bones at all. Instead, you feel like you're pushing your hands. Active push into your hands. Active push into your fingertips. Active push into your thumbs. Active push into your knuckles. Active push through your arms. Drop your chin down. Lift it in, long back of the neck. Good. All right, alternate arm and leg. We go right arm, left leg, reaching out and bringing it back down to the floor. Keep the legs super low, please, because this is not about lifting the leg. This is about stabilizing the core and not locking your elbows, okay? It's not a leg exercise. The leg is just a distraction. Keep those elbows micro bent. Pull your shoulders back towards your hips. And now both legs, just kidding. Okay, I'm going to pause the music for a minute and give a little breakdown on wrist support. Okay, just for a second. Okay, so wrists. When we put our weight in our wrists in these workout classes, a lot of the time we start to feel really tired on the back of the wrist, especially if you're not used to it initially. So anytime you want a little break from that, you just take your palms towards the inside of your wrist and just stretch it out. Now, anytime we go to a downward dog or a child's pose and you can like sneak it in, you can press your knuckles against the mat. Yeah. And then push your wrist past your knuckles and you'll get that stretch on the floor. Yeah. Let me show you that real quick. Say we were taking a tiny break. You can do that stretch right here into the floor. Or even if you were in a downward dog, you could do one hand, a little stretchy. Yeah. So while we're getting stronger, it's totally normal to feel tired here. We just don't want to overdo it. So you can switch to fists on the floor. Do I have a tabletop nearby so I can walk a little bit? Yes. You can switch to fists on the floor. Again, we're not hyperextending. We're going to keep those bent. Or you can do a little bit of spider hands. Yes, spider hands. But in all of those cases, we want to keep as many of our, I hate to say the word rule here, as many of our guidelines in effect as possible. So that would mean I'm going to keep my hands lined up with my shoulder joints. Yeah, so I don't want my hands too close unless I'm specifically doing that. And I don't want my hands wider than my shoulders. I want them right underneath my shoulders. Yeah. If you're hyperextending, then the inside of your elbows are going to be going whoop. They kind of rotate forward and out. And we want them to be micro bent. I just say micro bent. It really means practically straight. But for most of us, that feels like a little bend, and that's fine. Shoulder location is huge. So I saw lots of shoulders coming up here in some of the pictures I saw in the last week, yeah, where you're basically relaxed in your upper back and the weight is just dropping into your skeleton. So please, everybody, bend your elbows, roll your shoulders back, which we just practiced a lot, and feel all the fierceness here in the lats, teres minor, and all the muscles that pull your shoulder blades down. Yeah, like you're trying to tuck your shoulders into your waistband. Yeah. Whenever your shoulder comes up and forward here, that's when we get rotator cuff injuries in many sports, is because there's not enough room with everything squished up and forward for all of your muscles and nerves to pass through that little joint. So we got to rotate them down. Okay, so that's already like 4 things. Elbows, not hyperextended, but micro bent. Shoulders, rolled out and back. Yeah. Sometimes I remind myself to do this by pressing my heart forward. That can be really helpful. Hands directly underneath your arm shoulder sockets. Yeah? And then position of the hands. We also discussed, remember all the times I said we're going to do this exercise with the elbows in and that adds extra effort. That's why, is because we're practicing towards this healthy support position. So we're squeezing in. Can you just squeeze in? Now, if you have a friend, come and have them come over to you and steal your elbow. If you don't have a friend, imagine your imaginary friend's going to come in and try and steal your elbow from you from the side. Squeeze it in. Roll those shoulders back some more. Open your heart a little more. Great. And now I want you to make little like shiny hands with me. Da 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 da. Yeah. Whenever we're on the floor, you want to think about your pointer fingers pointing straight ahead, towards your head, past your head, yeah? Not in and not out, but straight ahead is a great location for your hands. And then I would like you to please, are you still squeezing your elbows in? They should be getting tired a little bit. Lift your chest a little bit more, shoulders down a little bit more. Create that isometric tension, please. Okay, stretch your fingers out as big as you possibly can. I like to say, I'm 10 years old, like you're really excited, yes. And then I want you to squeeze all your fingertips as far forward as possible and all the way down so that the palms of your hands are tense and your forearms under here are tense. Everything is tense. I call this the disappointed flamingo. He's very disappointed. Yeah? Yes. Good job. Those are some good disappointed. They're very judgy, those flamingos, aren't they? Do you feel the tension building up in your forearm here? If you don't, try squeezing down a little more. Yeah? This strength is what will take the weight out of that wrist pressure. So the more that this gets strong, the less tired your wrist will get as we work out. Okay, last thing. shake it out. So this one's a little bit, this one's a little bit. And you could even do it right before class while I'm like doing my sound check. It would be really excellent. Okay. Shoulders back, Pilates scoop and floor, of course, are lifted. We're just gonna open really big and then make fists this time. Squozing down fists. Really big and fists. And really big and fists. Watch your shoulders don't creep up on you. Is it starting to burn? It is for me. I haven't done a lot of these in a long time. Oh, yes. Good question, Noreen. Okay, shake that out. So that is a wrist warm-up. I learned it in yoga, but that will definitely help you build the strength that will give your wrists a break. Okay, Noreen has a great question about holding your breath. I know this is gonna sound like a not real answer, but it is a real answer, which is if you notice you're holding your breath, breathe as deeply as you can. And try and focus on that for the next few things. You guys haven't really talked, you watched a video about breathing in different places, right? In the playlist from maybe the first week. It wasn't taught by me. We look uncertain. Okay, let's talk about that next. Let's get down on the floor together again. Okay. So we definitely did my favorite name for this exercise is pregnant kitties, not pregnant kitties, right? We did that. And when we did our pregnant kitties, not pregnant kitties, you can hopefully feel, if you just relax and let it move a little, you can feel your pelvic floor lifting in that action. So how do we stay lifted here and brought in here so that you're holding on to your Pilates scoop, but still breathe? Because a lot of the time, especially in yoga, many times we talk about breathing into the belly, right? And the belly breath is a misnomer because you have a diaphragm, which is the muscle that actually helps you inhale and exhale most. And that's at the bottom of your rib cage. So when we relax the diaphragm, in order, like it creates a vacuum and your lungs expand within your rib cage. Your rib cage is specifically designed to protect your lungs. That's what it's made for. So that's how you know where your lungs are in your chest. And the diaphragm basically just falls and relaxes down. And so when you say release, breathe into your belly, really what you're doing is relaxing the abdominal muscles so that the organs, your intestines, your stomach, your stomach, which is like right up underneath that diaphragm. All of those organs basically have room to fall out and forward. See, this is why you gotta love your belly, because it's full of all those important organs that help you live. And then when we contract the transversus abdominis again, we're basically pushing your organs and stuff back up into the diaphragm as it relaxes upwards. And when you contract your diaphragm, it flattens out, because this is the softened version. And then when you contract it, it flattens out, and that makes the vacuum that pulls air into your lungs. So if you're not giving a lot of extra room for your diaphragm to contract out and push forward because you're holding your transversus abdominis in, where do you find extra room to breathe? And the answer is basically in your armpits and the top of your chest. So let's look at the armpit one first. This is kind of a feeling exercise. Let's grab underneath our armpits here. Yeah, you can also grab this way if that's a little bit easier, if you have a lot to get around in the front. And just go ahead and hold your scoop in and try and breathe and see if you can feel your rib cage expanding in the side. I'm going to demonstrate that with my fingertips. Yeah, so I'm going to go. This is called side breathing. Expand the side of your chest here to get your breath there. Yeah? So breathing into the armpits and side of your back is definitely really effective. And the other one is less of a helper, but does help, is called, well, in science they call it bucket breathing, because they're imagining like if your chest is a bucket of air and you're lifting the handle up on the top of a bucket. I always thought that was kind of a weird thing to call it. Anyway, go ahead and place your hand just below your collarbones and then lift your pelvic floor and hold in your transversus abdominis. And this time as you breathe, I'd like you to let your chest lift up in the front and drop down. So this is your rib cage spreading this way. And just practice that for a little while, because I find it gives me just enough extra air that I feel a little lightheaded if I'm really doing it well. Yeah? Can you do both of these places at the same time? And this is definitely the way that dancers, especially ballerinas who have to be like super tight and still in the torso, unless they're purposefully like making an action, for the most part you recognize ballet for two things. One is these always curved arms, obviously being in point shoes, and the other is that the torso is very still and very upright, and that's how you can delineate from like modern dance is all about bending the torso. Anyway, that was a side note. Okay, so if you're really into integrating breathing into these exercises, Joseph Pilates, who invented Pilates, was obsessed with that because he had really severe asthma. And so part of the reason he started inventing this form of working out was to alleviate his asthma. Let's get us back down onto the floor. Let's spend our last 10 minutes working lower body some more. But just to kind of review, go ahead and get yourself comfy again. Just to review what we've covered today, we did new jazz 4-minute quick abs. Whenever that song comes through shuffle, I'm just going to hop into that craziness. We talked a little bit about lifting your pelvic floor and engaging your transversus abdominis and how to breathe into your side ribs and the top of your rib cage. We talked about shoulder positioning, hyperextension of the elbows, as in we don't do it, pulling those elbows in and back, point your fingers up on the floor, and aligning when you're in all fours with your knees and hands underneath their bigger joints. Yeah? Okay, great. All right, let's do, now that we're in that all fours position, let's do what I like to call, this is an exercise that I made up. Go ahead and walk this right leg up near your front hand. Yeah? I like to sort of position myself as though you were proposing, won't you please go to the fair with me? Yes? Okay, so send that leg wherever you can out to the side of where your two hands are. And we're going to do my exercise, which I call Amber's magical butt exercise. You're welcome. It's very small. And you want to get the outside and back of your hip here. So as we do this exercise, there'll be a temptation to sneak your leg back because other bigger muscles want to take over. So don't do that. We're just going to do some lifts, and I'm going to turn the music back on. We'll do some side kick series. And yes, all right. All right, here we go. Your right leg's up to the front. You're lifted in. Your pelvic floor is back. Micro bend those elbows. And here we go. It's just a half an inch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't move your hips. 6, 7, 8. Now tiny circles. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Press your other leg wide. Take it back. Tuck it down. Send your hip to that side. Curl up like a kitty cat to stretch it out before we do the other side. Breathe, breathe, breathe. All right, let's come up to the other side. Slide that foot forward. Lifting up through your pelvic floor, shoulders back, elbows micro bent, lifting, still torso will go, lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Swing it back. Tug it in. Hips back and over to that side. Curl up like a cat. Go ahead and come down to your side for the side kick series. We're gonna lay on the side of the body. We're gonna take our knees way forward so that our back is all the way flat. Heels are also forward. Most of us lay down a little bit somewhere like this, yeah? Swing it all forward. Right angle at the knees, right angle at the hips. Pull your Pilates scoop and pelvic floor in and up. Just pulse it to get ready. Pulse. And hold it in, hand right in front of your pelvis so you can feel if your hips or pelvis, so bounce against your elbow, wheel go, open, and close. Open, don't move that chest, don't move your hips, and keep your Pilates scoop and floor in friends, open. Froggy office chair. We're gonna stay froggy. Hand behind the knee, tap your knee to your hand. Notice that my knee is not getting further or closer from my face. It's going around to the back of the room. 6, 7, 8. Send your legs out on a 45-degree angle. Yeah, this is the line of my back. My legs are forward. I'm gonna put my hand back, lift, turn that leg parallel. Turn that leg out from the hip socket. Imagine your leg is a key and your hip socket is the keyhole. Open. Legs together. Make sure they're turned out when they meet. You should look like you have a mermaid tail. Back. Parallel. Turn it out. Heels together. Heel up. Parallel. Turn it out. Heels together. Good. Forward. Parallel. Turn it out, together. Back, parallel. Turn it out, together. Up, parallel, turn it out, together. Forward, to the back. Travel in, turn out. Lift it up. Point your knee at the ceiling. Did your hips fall open? Mine sure did. Let's stack it all back up. And knee. Slowly to the front and knee opens to the ceiling. Give yourself a little booty squeeze there. And close and open and close and open. How's your pelvic floor? How's your Pilates scoop? How's your chest? All right, put it down. Tap it out. Open your chest. Big spinal twist. Switch sides. Shins might be lined up with the front of your mat. Your back might be lined up with the back of your mat. Check your Pilates scoop, bring those thighs up so there's a 90-degree angle here, just like you're sitting in an off chair that fell over on its side. Open and close. Open. Then the second side you do is almost always going to be a little more challenging because you're usually bracing into the floor with these same muscles during the first set. And open, tap. Send it out on the angle, and up, parallel, open, together, forward, parallel, open, together, back, rotate the thigh parallel, rotate it open, together. Can you get a sense of reaching through the leg as you go? Your heel is as far away as possible and back. parallel, hold on to your core and up, parallel, turn it out together and fast, back, up, in, out together, forward, in, out together, back, in, out together, up, in, together, up with the knee. Feel your hips open up and rock back for a second. Reset it. Super slow to start and down. 2, 3, you're almost done. And open. 2, get that knee pointed, ceiling, and 2, 3, 4, and up. 2, 3, 4, and faster. 2, open. 2, 2, 2, down. 2, last one. 2, slowly down. Good. Open that chest, big spinal twist.